B'siyata d'ishmaya, b'zat Hashem, with Hashem's help, we're back at the Midrash David Chai here on 4601 Thomas Street. Anybody wants to join us? About half hour before Mincha daily, we're learning halachot in Mishnah Berurah with Ish Matzliach, with halakha Faradim, Ashkenazim. Not just the halakha, we're not here just throwing out halakha. We want to dissect it a little bit, get into the lam de shazach. How do you get to the bottom line? And B'ezrat Hashem, hopefully, to be more cautious in other aspects. Not everything we say is going to be halakha, unless I say so. I'll tell you what's the halakha, point it out. Many times the Ashkenazim, whatever they point out the way to us, it's not going to be the halakha. But Mish Matzliach Baruch Hashem does point out what we are in the heck today, and obviously with all other poskim that's mentioned here. Now, with that said, today is the 21st of the month of Shvat, Wednesday, Baruch haba Rav Yom Tov. Wednesday, our the furniture is here. Steady furniture is here. Steady people, Baruch Hashem. Now, so we're back at Wednesday, the fourth day of the week of Parashat Mishpatim. Okay, good.
אני במילים עדיין, אז לא הגעתי למשהו.
לא הגעתי. Okay, so Yud Bet. You want to read, Gabriel?
Yeah.
בכבוד.
Head, no?
Yud Bet, הלכה שולחן ערוך. Yeah, Yud Bet, right on top, Mem Chet. הלכה Yud Bet, סעיף Yud Bet, right here. Right? Yeah, a little bit more, yeah, בכבוד. No? I read. Gentlemen, what you're not here. This is not entertainment center. You're supposed to be opening the books, book inside, word for word. You have to give it over to somebody else.
אני צריך לופה כזאת, כבודה.
Good, so get it. What's the big deal? Oh, Habibi, go to 99 cents store, your lupa costs $5. Okay. My gosh, everything is excuse. Yeah. I have more excuses than you, believe me. V'nagvem hetev kodem sheivtza. Oh. Shulchan Aruch tells you must be careful, very cautious. You must be very cautious to wipe your hands properly, fully, dry to the list. You can't have moist. Many people are not careless. Mamash. Many people are careless. Their hands are moist. You could see. I see a whole diamonds on their hands, like the reflection.
No, you got to do like this with the towel.
With the towel, what I do is I wipe in the kitchen. Okay, now I start walking. Maybe it takes me a while to walk, right? I walk. If on the towel, it's good. Then what I do when I sit down, I have napkins, literally a few napkins in front of me. More wiping again. Now with the towel is a little bit has a different cotton doesn't grab right away all the water.
What's the reason for that?
Oh, so he's telling you, kodem shivtza. We already said the reason why you're washing that maybe there is a liquid on the fruit. And the tumor will jump back and forth from your hand to the fruit, and then from the fruit to you. And in the olden days, you have to eat b'kedusha ta'orah. There's going to be a problem. The fruit becomes, even though my hands, I'm rishon letumah, whatever I touch becomes sheni letumah. Right? Not a problem. Fruits is not a problem. So now, but the problem is this fruit that I'm eating. If my hands are wet and I didn't wash it, and if there is a tumah, they don't become sheni. They become rishon. That's the kana. The liquid makes it rishon.
If the fruit is wet.
If the fruit is wet or my hand is wet.
Even though you washed your hands.
Not when you wash it. You didn't wash your hands.
You said you washed it and you
That's right. God. Now, what happens is if you didn't wipe your hands, if you didn't wipe your hands, now the fruit becomes tameh. If there is liquid touching the fruit. There's a whole. So that, in a second.
We talked about yesterday because if we wash 3 times just to make sure that there's no more tumah.
Let's.
Yeah.
You know what? We're way ahead of us. Let's see the halakha. He'll tell us exactly what's going on here. What's the name? Let's read by word by word. She'aocher bli niguf yadayim. Anybody who doesn't properly wipe his hands, meaning there is some sparkle. You could see that's right. There's liquid. There's sparkle in the light. That's what I meant. Diamonds. You see the sparkle. Bli niguf yadayim. That means they didn't wipe your hands properly. What's going on here? Ki ilu ochel lechem tameh. It's as if he is eating unholy bread. What's going on here? What's happening? Why? Good. So we need Shulchan Aruch for that. Mishnah Berurah. Let's go. Lechem tameh. What is going on here? Why is this called lechem tameh? I wash my hands. Rabbi Eliyahu is going to say like this. I understand what you were saying. It also bothered me a little bit. 1 second. If you're telling me that the only reason why I have to wash when I eat the fruits was because my hands become wet and there's a tumah traveling But here, even if my hands are wet, they're not tameh anymore. Because I just made a bracha. Obviously, why did I make a bracha? Why did I say anatilat yadayim? Because my hands are not tameh. Even they are wet. When did I make a bracha? While they were wet. I didn't wipe off the tumah. Right? I didn't wipe off the tumah. So I made anatilat yadayim while they were wet. So what is it showing me? That my hands are not tameh. So Lior is asking, so let's say, you're right, I didn't wipe it very good. I didn't wipe meticulously. What's the problem? Why is it tameh? Good question. Good question. Even if they're wet, I should be able to eat because there was a difference.
Also, we said yesterday, after first time, he's not tameh anymore.
Good. That's okay.
And the
Very
second, third,
don't. They say, stop kicking me when I'm down. Relax.
Hey, until I got a chance, Rabbi.
All right, let's go. So Mishnah Berurah says like this, all the way in the bottom there, Gabriel in the bottom, Mishnah Berurah. Yud bet Siv Katan Mem Hey. Lechem Tameh. How is it he's doing Tameh? Katav Bet Yosef. What is going on here? Dehainu mishum dehamayim arishonim sheshofech al yadav tameim hem. Remember that. The first liquid that you spill on your hands, the first time you wash your hands, there's still tameim. The water is tameh now. Again, you're right. The hand could become pure because that's the whole purpose of washing. But the water itself is tameh.
Even after the first one, then you.
That's right. The water is still tameh. That's why we wash the second time. Okay, listen to this. Shenitmeu mechamat yadav, because the water that's on his hands is tameh because of his hand that was tameh. Good. As we're going to discover later on in Siman 162. So we'll learn over there the second spilling, you're purifying the previous water that's there. Okay, meaning you're washing it off. Okay. מקום לקום לכתחילה צריך להעביד את הראשונים לגמרי על ידי ניגוף. Says like this. What's happening is that yes, we already established that the second washing removes the tumah completely, but we still don't know. Because really in water, we don't know how water works. Is it when your hands are still wet, is it from the first spilling or it's still from the second? Is it from the second spilling or it's still from the first spilling?
Oh, we'll do three
because
times.
water intertwingles all the time. Water gets mixed up all the time. Water is min b'mino.
So even the 3 times doesn't matter?
Okay, so let's see. ורש"ל כתב, דעיקר הניגוב הוא משום דנקיות. כשידיו לוחות בימי הניגוב, הנטילה יש בו משום מיאוס. No. So, right, this is Lior is asking the same question. What's the difference? 3rd, 4th, 5th time, 20th time. You're right, that's right. The Chachamim established 3 times more than that. By Sfaradim, Ashkenazim is 2 times. But his same Mishnah Berurah says it's a very slippery slope. Because like you said, what's the difference? 100 water, 100 time you washed. What's the difference? Right? Ela Ken, Mistama, there is a difference that you dip your whole body in. Once you dip the whole body, the Chayra, all the Tumah goes away. But nobody's going to be dipping their bodies to wash hands now, right? Who's going to do that?
You need mikveh in the backyard.
That's right. Tafasta merubah lo tafas. You can tell the Jews go dip the mikveh all the time. You ain't going to get nothing.
But after the mikveh, you can technically go and get a fruit, no problem?
Yeah. If you didn't touch any parts, somehow you got out of the mikveh and you're dressed instantly. All right.
Yeah, you're dressed. You already your hands you needed to wash.
Yeah. V'chen mashma berashi. So he says like this. Listen to what he says here. V'rashal katav the ikar hanigov hu has nothing to do with tumah anymore. Here, the reason why you must wipe your hands, according to even Shulchan Aruch, because you have a mitzvah not to be disgusted by your food. And the liquid on your bread will make your bread disgusting.
You will ruin the bread.
Not that you ruin it, little drops. It's not a pleasant thing. Many people don't care, by the way. Whoa, I'm telling you. But again, therefore, the Shulchan Aruch did not give us a reasoning, because technically speaking, everybody will do whatever comes to his heart. I really don't care. Up on my hands are wet. Anyway, look how wet it is. It really doesn't care, right? Right? You have such people. So the Shulchan Aruch is not giving.
Also, if you sit in a big table, people will look at you and look. All the water is dripping.
And he served the bread to you.
And he served the bread to you, and he pick up the salad
Hold on.
the hand dripping.
Hold on a second.
Yes, sir.
When you were B'li Ayin Hara, you, your sisters, and sitting with your father, just your family, you really cared what bread your father, what he touched, what he didn't touch, right? You didn't care? Did you care? Do me a favor, stop it. Your father gave you, be quiet, you said, thank you. They're finished.
And that's because you know the
Scenario.
scenario.
That's right.
The rest of them is not working like that.
Right, but good. Okay, that's one of the reasons.
My father
That's why.
so the rabbi
Yom Tov. That's why today we don't drink Kiddush cup. Because people are ma'us today, people don't want to drink from your mouth. What do you think you are?
Right.
So that's it. If you're a guest, but if you have a guest from your family, you drink from a cup, and that's it. By me, I'm a very, I don't, whatever. I used to drink for my children. Every time my children, I touch their leftovers, I sick for 2-3 weeks. My body is very fragile. I'm very, my house.
You still do the garlic?
Well, yeah, of course.
One every morning.
One in the morning.
One
in the morning.
One, two every
I break it up. You have to break it up, crush it, and so it's good. Hopefully it works. Anyway, but that's the point. The children, I don't know, they have different germs. They eat from me non-stop.
Our body is less resistant. They're getting older. It's not that they have special germs, the kid. Their immune system much stronger than us.
So by me, I don't know.
Getting...
V'chein mashma b'Rashi. Also Rashi in Gemara Sotah said that page 4. Katava Magen Avraham, that this is the reason why you wipe. Why? Because of the ma'u. Something it's displeasing. Like you said, if you have guests, you're giving them with your wet hands touching your bread. Also no good. Katava Magen Avraham b'shem Tashbetz, wrote the Magen Avraham in the name of Tashbetz. Lo yinageh yadav b'chaluko shekasher l'shichacha. Very important. A person should not wipe his hands on his clothing. Not to. Why? People will be forgetful. The Mishnah also brings it down. V'ayin b'sifrei megadim, b'pri megadim, shemistapek im davka chaluko o kol b'gadav mashma. So there's a Pri megadim has a problem. Is it talking about jacket, like a upper coat, or even shirts, or even your pants? Some people want to wipe their hands on the pants. Or he says, I don't know exactly. Maybe it means any clothing. You know, not to wipe your hands because it's going to make you forget Torah.
Sometimes I want to go do Birkat Kohanim, wash my hands. No towels, no. It's like
right.
You have to go. It's like, what do you do?
So what you do? Very good question. Put your hands in your pocket and it dries.
No,
Chaluko is from outside. So that's the guy. We don't hold. So let's see. Ishmael, he says, Pri megadim had a problem. Any part of the body, any clothing. So let's see. Ishmael is going to say because Mishnah is every davka jacket. והכפיים כתב דהו הדין בכל בגדיו ועיין בהערות שבסוף הספר. כפיים holds every cloth.
Even the pockets.
Even the pockets, נכון? I mean,
because it depends. What the
but the question is, if you put your hands in the pocket, hold on a second. I'm not so off, you know. You put your hands in the pocket, really, you're not wiping your hands. You put your hands and they're getting dry. Here, you're wiping. You're using your jacket. You know what I'm saying? Or you're doing like this, that's wiping. But that's why I put it in the pocket, by the way. That was my reasoning why it's allowed to put it in the pocket. Once I put it in the pocket, it dries. You're right, because it's minagev, but I'm not minagev. Really? I'm not minagev. Am I minagev? No.
What's minagev?
Wiping. Wiping is minagev.
But I'm not wiping. Yeah, all I did was, my hands are wet. I put it in the pocket. What did I do? And it dries. Okay, good. It dries. Now I do Birkat Kohanim, I go, whatever. What are you going to do? Many times happens that I want to put on with tefillin and there's no tissues. Some shuls, Baruch Hashem, invite people to pray here, but they don't supply the utensils to wipe your hands. Not here, Baruch Hashem. Here, Rabbi Hanan is very much on top of it. And if not, he'll give you his shirt. Thank you.
People love you, Rabbi.
Oh, wow, look at that. It would be nice with the clothes if you open it. Anyway, I'm not saying anything. After Arvit. No, after Arvit. All right, let's continue. Yud Gimel. Bechavot, I have to read. Where's all the what's the? Oh, 1 second. Where's the? I didn't call Yaakov. He's gonna get upset. And Zohar called. Look at that. Okay, let's see. Look at this. I missed the call. Just give me 30 seconds. Let me put this pause. Is going to call in. Now, okay, Bezat Hashem, we continue in Yud Gimel. See if Yud Gimel in Kuf Nun Chet. So, Lior, I'm gonna have to start confiscating phones over here. Unless you're recording something. You want
within 30 seconds.
30 seconds. המגדיל ידיו יכול לאכול בלא ניגוף. Oh, you guys are ready for this? Anybody, Gabriel, you go to mikveh, you know the keli mikveh, it's kosher. For mikveh, a lady could go into the mikveh. It's supposed to be kosher. Mikveh, keli mikveh is supposed to be the same as a lady could go in there, right? So you take your hand, hamadbil yadav, you put your hands, the whole hand up to the wrist, into the mikveh. Is allowed to eat without wiping his hands even. והוא הדין נוטל ידיו בבת אחת ושופך עליהם רביעית מים בבת אחת, או שנטל ידו אחת ושפך עליה רביעית, וכן שפך עליה חברתה. So he says, והוא הדין לנוטל ידיו בבת אחת. If you also spill a lot of water in one shot on your hand, right? So now there's going to be a lot of problems. If you spill revi'id, more than 86 grams, we spill more than that, and it's still not another one. Let's say you want to eat with one hand, right? You don't want you put your other hand, you can't hold the person hand. So he says, even if you spill on one hand, and you're going to be eating with that hand, also sounds like according to Shulchan Aruch that you don't have to wipe your hand even, because it's already become pure. Okay, we'll understand that in a second. Same thing, or he spills al haverta on the other hand. Okay, let's see. Mishnah Berurah. What is going on here? Bli niguf. So right away, Rashal is out of the window. Rashi and the Sotah is also out of the window, right? What was their problem? What was the reasoning for wiping your hands properly? What was Rashal said? Rashal said that you wipe your hands because of mius. News is it's unpleasantness, right? It's disgusting to eat bread wearing wet hands. So what Shulchan Aruch over here tells you could even without wiping it, eat your bread without it. Wow. So still, you're not how you're gonna. Your bread is it's nice. You put a bread with lefet. Even bread, you don't. Most people don't soak bread into water, plain water,
unless it's a hot fish sauce.
No, I didn't say sauce. I said in bread and water, nobody soaks. People like to do tea and with flavor stuff, right? Okay. Baloni go. So Rashi says like this: Ita betosefta. It's brought down in Tosefta. Why is that allowed? Katav habet Yosef the hatam hu mishum demvatalbil et kan en kam maim tmeim klal. Because once you dip your hands in the mikveh, there is no tuma at all on your hands. Therefore, להלכה, Shulchan Aruch is telling you, להלכה, you don't need to wipe. Meaning what? You're right. You should wipe, but you don't have to go crazy like you said before. Before, you have to be very cautious. You have to be very meticulous to wipe it good, all those things. Here, that's what he means. Really, it doesn't mean you go eat with your wet hands. Just, that's logical, right? Velamad, so what is Beit Yosef explaining? מזה, דהו הדין בשופך רביעית בבת אחת על שתי ידיו, or al kol yad v'yad v'bnei atzma. How also more than that, says Mishnah Berurah, if you spill 86 grams at once on one hand, or 86 grams on both hands at one shot, that also is going to be like tibul. That's a very big linear kula, because we don't do that, right? Okay. Why? The kaim ala nami de hamayim teorim hem. So we'll understand what's happening. Why is this happening? This discussion. We don't hold of it, right? Because Baruch Hashem, we're today exposed to a lot of water. We have so much. We're doing with big cups. Our Netilah has maybe like 10 reviyot over there, right? And we can't even fathom this whole idea of spilling revit, like revit on hand. Okay, let's see. Just 1 second. Let me merge Zohar. Merge Kol. Okay, very good. Okay, ready? So he says like this. All this will be discussed in Siman 162. En tzarich niguf. Okay. V'Rashal cholek al zeh. No. Rashal still holding to his guns. He's arguing on Maran and he says no such a thing. Even after mikveh, you must wash your hands. Why? The ikar niguf shetiknu hu mishum meus v'knis kar la'el. because he doesn't hold of the problem with Tumah. He holds more primarily, his problem is that because once you start playing with Tumah, there's no limit. Like Leo responded, you go 100 times washing. If you're going to be exchanging, the water is exchanging. Every time you're spilling a different water, who says it's the different water? It's the old water, right? That was the argument that Maran said. But Mishnah Berurah brought it down. But Rashal says that's not the reason. Because really, the first time you washed, khalas, Maran says himself, you spilled the revi'it on your hands, it's already enough. So what's going on here? So Elim Ken, the reason Rashal says the Chachamim are forcing us to wipe our hands properly is because of unpleasantness. So if it's because of unpleasantness, what's the difference if you notel if you went to mikveh or not with your hands? That's not a difference. You have to wipe it. Ve'im ken ma li revi'it bevat achat or lo. Same thing. Who cares what revi'it or not on one shot? V'rak b'mabdbil en tzarchin niguf. Le'alacha says Mishnah Berurah. Now he's not agreeing with Maran that only he says the time you dip your hands into the mikvah, only then you don't have to wipe it. But spilling a revi'it on your hands, since when? What is this chidush? So he says, the tvilat yadayim hi ke'en tahara deoraita shel tvilat aguf. Because when you go to put your hands into the mikvah, it's like deoraita. It's mamash tahora. That's deoraita. So over there, we could understand, we could comprehend, and we could accept the fact that what Maran's saying, you don't have to wipe your hands. However, ושם בוודאי אין צריך ניגוף, ולכן גם בטבילת ידיים לא תקנו בו ניגוף. Therefore, when you toivel your hands into the mikvah, not a problem. וכדבריו כתב גם בבח בסימן כוזר, וכן הסכימו שאר האחרונים. So, sorry, Mishnah Berurah was not talking, this was still Rashal, who is arguing on Maran, and he brings you Bach, and he brings you other poskim that don't agree with Maran, that spilling 86 grams on your hand is enough. Now, what about Sephardim today? Which Matzliach wants to add to that? והמנהג להחמיר הנגב ידיו בין המטביל בין בשופך רביעית. Says the Rosh Yeshiva from Kiser Hamim that no such thing, nobody does what Maran said. This heter of Maran, nobody follows. Everybody is machbir to be menagev, to wipe your hands properly.
Is washing hands derabana?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but because yes, that was the whole takana. That because that's one of the way we test you if you believe in Mashiach or not. The reason is we wash all the time to show that any minute Mashiach comes, I know how to wash for to go to the Kohanim, the Nigdash, whatever, all those things. Says even though we said that anybody who dips his hands into the mikveh does not have to wipe his hands. כתב המגן אברהם, דמי שדעתו קצה עליו, יש בו משום מיאוס וצריך ניגוב. He says, people that are very finicky, like Baruch Hashem, most people sitting on this table, right? We're all finicky and we're meticulous. Says, Magen Abraham says it's appropriate to wipe, and Ish Matzliach also told us it's a good thing to be machmir, not to, what's his name? And again, also, you never know who you're sitting with. You know, in my house, I'm going to tell you, I don't drink from the cup. I always have a cup. I don't care if there's guest, no guest. Me and my wife just doesn't matter. I know my wife sometimes she'll take, but I prefer there's a cup ready. I put it inside of my cup, and that's it. Khalas. This way I don't get used to. Sometimes people forget. They have guests, but they already consistency that they always drink, and then they give everybody, and people are feeling embarrassed not to drink from you. That maybe they're going to speculate you and you're going to get offended, so they won't offend you, they'll drink and then they'll throw up and then you may even have stomach aches. Who needs all that? Right? The person should be always working. In my house, very important. I don't understand how people don't do that. Salads. Every salad has to have his own spoon or a fork. I hate it. I go to people's house, I see no forks, no spoons. My wife has a rule. The rule is, if somebody touches from that salad, I'm not looking at it anymore. So if she wants me to eat, she better load me up before anybody touches from the salad.
You put spoons, but people don't sometimes just move the spoon in with their own spoon.
Because people are very uneducated, and this is improper behavior. There's spoons for a reason. Why would somebody toil to put a spoon in a salad? I've seen that also. That's not cases. What are we, crazy? He gets offended. What do you mean get offended? Be meticulous. Be considerate of other people. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen. Ve Amen. Bezrat Hashem will continue right after Arvit. B'siyata Deshmaya, Gemara in Chok LeYisrael. And tomorrow we're going to start a new Siman Kuf Nun Tet. So everybody's welcome.